slowly turned into something else. Joe is an intelligent, sane guy, so after doing it the first year, he quit. Brendan had attended the first MAGFest and didn't want to see it die, so he took up the reins and took over. I only made it to the second MAGFest, so I was there when Brendan was in charge. And the third MAGFest was the worst run event I have ever been to in my life. About 10% of the people there were pissed off for good reasons, like the land didn't have power for most of the day. But the other 90% or so had a freaking blast, despite all the hiccups. So I started getting involved, and it sort of transitioned into me being more in charge rather than Brendan, and that was a long, slow kind of thing. And I'm going to get into the why everybody hates each other stuff a little bit here. Brendan cares too much and refused to let go of things. So for a couple of years, I was the one taking all the heat for everybody that Brendan was pissing off because people were trying to work on things and he wouldn't let them work on it or whatever, and people come to me going, Brendan's an asshole, I can't, and I have to smooth it all over and whatever. And eventually, a couple of years ago, I hit a point where I got pretty annoyed with my own life and decided to dedicate a lot more to MAGFest. And we had a now somewhat legendary meeting where I bitched at Brendan for about two hours while Dom and Eli kind of looked at their shoes. And we basically split MAGFest up into 4 pieces, and we each sort of took categories, and that's how we were going to do it. It was all cool, but there was some confrontation and whatever. And then Brendan, under doctor's orders, had to quit most of what he was doing. So he eventually backed out completely. He's not running anything anymore. You still have badge number 1 now? Yeah, okay. He's got badge number 1. He will, as long as we can maintain that.
However, my volunteer ribbon is carefully hidden behind the badge.
How many ribbons do you have? Oh, he's just got the whole collection of ribbons.
I have to go down to the merch area.
Yeah. So, anyway, I'm meandering around a point here, and the point goes back a little bit. Before we had that meeting, I called up Brendan and was like, all right, look, things need to change. I'm getting really frustrated working with you. There's a lot of people that are getting frustrated. We got to do something about this. This is very important. And Brendan was busy at another convention at the moment, and I had a talk that was just like, okay, look, this is serious business. Like, either we have to change things, or MAGFest is collapsing, or I'm quitting, or whatever. And hey, Brendan, he's not paying any attention. It's typical. You remember our phone conversation? Do you remember what you said? Do you want to tell them? Yeah. And you were just like, okay, the most important thing.
I just want to make sure I was saying the right shit. Otherwise, I mean, me and Paul have said a lot of things, and I'm sure you don't want to hear all the dick and fart jokes. We have some begging for dick and fart jokes. You'll get them later. I told Paul that the most important thing was that MAGFest succeeded and we remained friends. And
that
so sweet.
is what MAGFest is about for me. The culmination of years of frustration and a phone call and an ultimatum was basically, all right, this is all cool as long as we're still friends. So that's why Brendan is badge number 1 and always will be. He set the tone for this place for a few years. He helped build it into what it is. And I always say that MAGFest is not mine. It was never mine. It's not Brendan's. It's not any of ours. MAGFest is its own living, breathing thing that survives on the sanity of the people who attempt to run it.
And Paul.
But, yeah. But it's...
Not yet. It's not like Dom's beard. Dom's beard has its own Facebook account.
You guys are MAGFest. Everybody that comes here is MAGFest. We're just making sure it can happen. What's that? Well, obviously. Yeah, all right. Do we have any lumberjacks in the room?
Yeah!
All right.
They've been to every MAGFest ever.
No, that deserves a round of applause. That's when you clap, people. Every single MAGFest, all 11 of them. That is impressive.
What's your sign say, Joking? All right. That's how I make it up.
Yeah, no, I'm done with my philosophical stories.
So speaking on the behalf of you guys are MAGFest, I got started in MAGFest at MAGFest 5. I came back from college, my friend was like, hey, you want to play some tabletop games for a weekend? And that's how it all started, with me in a closet. Basically, that was the start and the end of tabletop. And now we are half the next Expo Slice, all thanks to you guys. I have my own setup for just Magic the Gathering in all of Chesapeake. I want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. This is like my real true Christmas. I don't even look forward to Christmas anymore. It's just MAGFest. So, for the first time this year, MAGFest is having a huge tournament that's held by one of the online retailers. And I can't say enough to thank the people that are on the board here that allowed this to happen, more or less, that argued with me. I pleaded and begged and got on my knees and asked very, very nicely for it to happen. So I want to thank these guys, Paul and Nick especially, for letting this happen, and Eli and Dom especially, who are not here, and for allowing it to happen as well. My seat, and I'll get out of the way.
We said his name 3 times and he materialized. That was weird.
All right, so I did my little bit of ass kissing for Brendan here. Now I'm going to kiss Dom's ass a lot harder. This guy who just walked in here, Dom, he is the guy running MAGFest currently. Well, he's too busy to listen. He has seriously been working like 80-hour work weeks for the last year and a half or so working on MAGFest. He's put more into MAGFest than any single person ever has, by far. I've been watching all the work that people have put into MAGFest over the years, and he's got me beat, he's got Brendan beat, he's got everybody beat. He's been kicking serious ass, getting us all together, and doing the nasty, boring, horrible work that nobody else wants to do. Tell them about taxes, Dom.
No. I'm pretty sure if you guys need accounting help, he can help you now because he's been doing financial stuff for the last like 9 months.
This is what I like to say. I have an MBA now in MAGFest Business and Administration. So. I don't want it. I saw programs for you.
All right, real quick before I forget things, these guys want to give a few public service announcements, and Jack wanted me to also let people know that we still need volunteers. If anybody wants to volunteer their time, we can still use help, especially overnight. And you get a bunch of perks. We'll reimburse your badge. You get free food. You get a T-shirt. You get a free badge for next year. If you're interested in volunteering, check in ops. It's on the map. It's like in the center of the conference rooms over on the expo side. And they can use people for all kinds of stuff. And in general, we can always use people to help, especially skilled people. But apparently right now, we have a minor crisis with a lack of people on the late night shifts. So if anybody can help fill in a little bit for late night random volunteer staffing, that would be awesome. And these guys have stuff to say.
Nick, feel free to jump in here anytime, but a little bit ago, I guess it was, what, a month
month and a half.
Can I take a moment to kind of talk about the whole theme for this
Oh
year?
yeah, actually that makes a lot more sense.
So I'm Nick. Hi, Nick.
I have to kiss Nick's ass first. Nick, a couple of years ago, got very, very excited and wanted to help with MAGFest. He was a little bit of a spaz, so we had to settle him down. And in a few years, he has come from being the very excited spaz to being one of the guys in command of MAGFest. And I think the thing that I heard Nick say the most this year was, is there anything else I can do to help? So, that's this guy. He's our PR guy and etc. None of us really has a single role, and Nick is sort of the definition of that right now, but he's kind of the mouthpiece of MAGFest, so I'll let him be the mouthpiece.
Alright, so I want to just take a second to talk about the visual theme for the event this year. Apparently it's a lot of you guys' first time here, so you probably weren't here in the past when we very blatantly ripped off the graphic design of unnamed series like Mega Band and so this year we're going with the general post-apocalyptic theme. So you'll be kind of seeing that in your badges, which are little post-apocalyptic helpful computers. Supporters and staff, please raise your badges in the air. Notice the text at the bottom indicating that this is a MAGTech water purification module. This is the water chip for your vault so that you don't have to go out into the wasteland to find a replacement water. And these were completely made and designed by Charles Lauren. You can talk about this.
Okay. So I got this call from Nick saying like, hey, I have this idea for the circuit board thing, all this, that. And I'm like, okay, you know what, I'm an electrical engineer, I can do this kind of stuff. It's going to take like 6 months and we're going to have this big budget and all this other stuff. It's like, no, we got like, what was it, a month? It was 3 weeks, and somehow he found a place that could print them and everything else in budget. And so in a matter of, I guess, a couple hours, I had to lay out this board and make it all work. And the funny thing was, even though I didn't test any of it, this is actually a programmer here for AVRs. It's a type of chip. And it also has a little extra AVR right there that you can program with 2 touch-sensitive things. So I have a video. If anybody is really technically inclined, you can do some service mount. If you want to see it, see what it does, or anything else, just search for MAGFest badge, supporter badge. Yeah, if you just YouTube MAGFest supporter badge, you can see some of the interesting stuff. So this is not just for looks. This actually works, and it's pretty sweet.
Post-apocalyptic theme this year is this.
Back up a little and explain what they are.
Well, so we have M-points. M-points are space bus at MAGFest. You get these for big tournaments, raffles, or just being.
All right, going out. Heads up. These will put your eyes.
Right now there is widespread panic because people are getting punctured.
We didn't test them for aerodynamic ability.
Can't nobody ever say MAGFest never made it rain, is all I'm saying.
So, fitting into the theme this year, these are bottle caps, and these bottle caps are worth money at MAGFest. You can spend these at any dealer table in the marketplace or in the merchandise within MAGFest, and it's worth the amount of money. $1, $5, and it's done to get 20% for $20 at any dealer table or merchandise.
So you have to spend it here, this year.
If you do not spend it this year, you can bring it back next year and trade in for M11 points.
This is MAGFest 11.
He's had a long year.
But they're good for 1 additional year.
Yo, what's up, MAGFest?
where we like run an event, it's not just a bunch of spreadsheets. Like I'm up here just working on tasks and crap. Like I didn't even get a chance to say hi and stuff. So what's up? I gotta do real quick shout outs. First off, Hachi is taking off like tons of work off of me this year. So I can actually do stuff. So everyone on this panel is ridiculous. And I have to have a shout out to my girlfriend Erica over there because she puts up with all of my bullshit all year. She's our staff medic, and if it wasn't for her, I would probably be like dead in a bed right now because I was sick like 3 days ago, and it was rough. So I have to run because our garage warehouse door is stuck halfway open today. So I'll be back, and I'll see you guys later.
Speaking about volunteering in garage doors that almost crush people. If you want to volunteer for MAGFest, you can do such exciting things as come to your first MAGFest, volunteer, and care so much to actually leave opening ceremonies. Right now, Mike Peliquin is sitting at the warehouse to make sure we don't have our rare arcade machines stolen. So if you see a skinny guy with his hair in a braid, curly, with crazy toe shoes, you need to thank this guy. And then if that's not enough, if we don't have, hold on 1 second. If we don't have people that care that much, another guy left right now because we have to get money to Sam's Club to get food to feed all the other people that love MAGFest. Yeah. So if you want to be a part of that, come by Ops. Jack Boyd will hook you up. You know, we really need people. We really need people to come help us out. So thank you, everybody.
All right, so who here has been to the MAGFest charity auction before? This year, we are going to blow your taints off. We have some of the coolest stuff ever. First off, stand up on the stage, because he's the littlest little guy. Everybody give it up for little Steve. He puts together the auction.
Okay, we have a scale reference now. Stand up.
Oh, right, he's little Steve, and I'm big Alice. He's my little buddy. So this year, what do we got? We've got, I'm going to, that's next. This is the auction portion. We'll get to the fun stuff later. We've got stuff from Blizzard, signed by the development team. We've got Mr. Pandaria, a collector's edition, signed by the dev team. A couple of posters as well. We have...
It's signed.
Okay, so this one, are you guys ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
From Valve.
Oh.
A portal gun signed by the dev team.
Oh.
And a big shout out to Mad Gear downstairs, Carlson. Go buy all of his import games. He's awesome. He donated a Famicom Disk System copy of Castlevania 1 that we're going to get signed. Yeah, which is ridiculous. Go ahead. Oh, Jesus. Okay, so what did you say? It was printer proofs of the booklet for the CD? Just fucking, okay. We've got more Uwe Monster stuff, including my personal favorite item this year, which is a legitimate copy on vinyl of the Beverly Hills Cop 2 soundtrack. That is in fact signed by Dumb Papas. That makes way more sense to me than it should. We've got a whole ton of items this year. Steve has kicked ass. Media Molecule sent us today, what was it? Original artwork from Little Big Planet, which is pretty awesome. Oh, the Tomb Raider. Okay, so we have a skateboard coming out. That's a Tomb Raider skateboard that was donated to us that they had made for their dev team. That's pretty cool. The other thing that we're doing this year that I think a couple of you might know about is table flipping for charity. So this is essentially the dumbest idea we've ever had.
Wait, you just said we.
No, it wasn't my idea. I'm the one that picked it the hardest. It was Ryan Meyer and Rugal. So these guys were like, we should do this thing where we raise money for charity by flipping tables. And I was like, you're a fucking genius. Yes, we need to flip tables in rage and raise money for sick kids. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna be doing this from 4 to 6 today, tomorrow, and Saturday. Down in Expo Hall E. So tell all your friends, and we're gonna have a whiteboard. We haven't quite worked out all of the prices yet, but we've got stuff like streamers, confetti, multiple sizes of tables, cornflakes, bowls, plates, silverware, cups,
And a big guy with a beard.
Yeah, so I have already decided that for $1,000 donation, I will voluntarily lay on a table and you can flip me the hell off. You can bring a few people to help if you want.
I'm flipping you off now!
John St. John, everyone. That guy right there is one of the nicest assholes I've ever met. But yeah, so
he's also on staff this year.
Bitches, I can kick anyone.
Another really cool item that I picked up on a whim the other day was I got a 500-piece puzzle. So what we're going to do is if there's a line while people are waiting to flip, apparently me, off of the table, people are going to be working on this puzzle, and for the right price, somebody could just yank the puzzle table out, flip that, and make everyone start over. Obviously, the goal for this whole thing is to raise a lot of money for Child's Play. Those guys are amazing. We've got a lot of really cool auction items. We've got table flipping for charity. So last year we made, I think it was real close to 11K in about 4 hours.
Wow.
Which is because of you guys. That's amazing. This year, with the table flipping and with the crazy auction items, what do you say we try to get it to 20? What do you think? I have a messenger. Oh, right. Oh, so, because on the unfortunate loss of our good friend, the Twinkie, we do have a box of Twinkies that will be auctioned. And we're going to get it signed by a bunch of people that have no business with Twinkies whatsoever. Because that seems to be the theme of this year. So we'll get like the janitorial staff, and Paul, and Colette. You're signing a box of Twinkies for charity.
I think we just gave a couple of people a heart attack in the audience. Please wait until after we've eaten the Twinkies to have the heart attack. That way you can make sure it happens.
Yeah, if anybody needs blood pressure medication, I got that now.
It's the post-apocalyptic.
My heart almost exploded 2 weeks ago. That was pretty cool. But now I'm here, so my heart didn't explode. Thumbs up there. Apparently having double blood pressure is a bad thing. Careful with those energy drinks, kids. This is a PSA brought to you by Fat Kids of America. What's that? I don't want to talk about that.
Everyone wave to that guy that's sitting down right now.
Yeah, everybody say hi, Triforce.
Yeah, we're going to raise money for kids. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
Oh, Joe Cam's going to sign Twinkies? Hell yeah, Joe Cam. That signature's worth at least $100.
I'll sign it too.
Hell yeah, I'm about it. Everybody's welcome. It's going to be a black box full of piggy goods.
Shove in your mouth.
I heard half of that and it was wrong.
Cakey goodness, just shove in your mouth.
Okay.
Go
All right.
It's still wrong.
Hey, for $1,000, I'll eat a Twinkie whole. No, for $50, I'll eat a Twinkie whole. There's no shame here, folks. I'm shameless and I'll raise money for kids however I must. To eat the wrapper with the Twinkie?
Do you have pica?
What's that?
Because eating the wrapper with the Twinkie, you know, pica.
Pico?
Yeah.
What's that?
It's like people that eat light bulbs and shit.
Oh, whoa, that's a thing.
You didn't even know.
I didn't. I learned something on opening ceremonies.
MAGFest, teaching you useless information.
In case anybody hadn't noticed, we're still the same nerds that ran a 200-person convention 10 years ago. Not just a judgment, but like this right here, it's never more organized than this. We just kind of sit here and talk about stuff.
You see how that rapper decision was happening? That's pretty much how MAGFest works.
So, okay, I actually have some things to talk about. One thing
Stuff, you're so quiet.
What? There's a lot of stuff this year that's like different and new and like stuff. So, you know how your batteries die on your phones? You know? We're setting up charging stations on the panel room, so if you want to use it. It's not going to be like super great or anything.
It's just a power strip. Bring your chargers.
It's two power strips off to the side. If there's one over there that's actually powering.
We're daisy chaining those, right?
Like so. Yeah. Huh?
Charging station means we have outlets.
You can probably charge about 200 cell phones off of one circuit before anybody has to worry about it.
Yeah, we're not worried about that. So it's in the panel room, so yeah, I don't have to fight for it. And the security is kind of just there, so people can look at it. So hopefully nothing bad happens. Not encouraging that please don't steal other people's or unplug theirs and then plug yours in. It's kind of a jerk.
Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous.
Kind of let's see. We have.
Colette says if anybody steals her cell phone, they get her responsibilities along with it.
We have a lot of guests here. We have some new stuff. Never mind.
Nick's gone. He flew too.
Nick got Koshiro. Anybody excited?
A little excited.
We have three excited people.
You got it. I like that. We're going to have Kunio Yamashita over. Wilson and James Banana. He also got Chris Holmes back. He's coming from the UK. He's, yeah, I don't know. I'm forgetting people, I'm sorry. I've got John St. John right over there. We have Ego Raptor coming in with John Brown.
She's just going to read the guidebook to you now.
We should have a 5-minute.
Credits back again? Somewhere. No, okay. And still have X-Ray Studios and like a lot of the same guys that we love to have back. Oh, we have Chris Dehan this year. He's hyperductive. Those are okay. With Ken Gao. Ken? It's Ken, not Khan. I don't know Chinese at all. He said it's Ken. Ken Gao. He made To the Moon. I'll keep trying. Wes Johnson's coming back. And he's got his voice actors, so hopefully you get all like that stuff, the voice actors. And John Patrick Lowry. Yeah, he's the voice of the Sniper, and he's pretty bad. He grew a beard too. Not that, but he looks good. He looks good.
That's still a high
It does look like shit, I'm not even gonna lie. I can't wait for shit. I deserve to get paid for this monstrosity. No, I'm taking like buzz cut trimmers.
Just don't clog my six.
I love that.
$20 for ribbons on gas.
Let's go.
Hold on, we'll talk about price. I'm just saying, it's for the kids, man.
Okay, we also have the angry video game nerd again.
wish somebody was here from the music department because their department is run so well that I don't pay attention to them, so I have no idea what's going on.
Last year for this year. They're already working on next year.
But like we've added a stage this year, we have something like 35.
38.
38.
38.
We had a whole chiptune show. We have stage 2 is all.
The 2 raves.
Wait, yeah.
DJ Cutman.
DJ Cutman.
There's Animal.
Animals are pretty awesome.
One ups.
Random, oh yeah, they're random. One ups, yes. Oh gosh, I'll just go up and down this list here. Oh, the mega effect. The rare candy for Dominant. Those who fight with Seven to yeah. Gosh, X-Hunters are back too, I like them. Oh, Night of the Round. Oh yeah, my parents' favorite music. I love that name. My parents' favorite music. Overclock University, yeah, because they're OCR will be probably already scattered everywhere.
D&D Sluggers.
Yes, D&D Sluggers. Oh, I can't go to my school. Okay, so we have a lot of awesome people. Oh, Bert's back too. People are happy. I'm glad you guys are all happy. Oh, we barely got either eye over. Barely got it. Anyway,
Oh, yeah. Steve, show everybody your tattoo. That's the official cross logo of MAGFest and Child's Play. He got a tattoo on his arm about a week after it was designed. Hachi's running around like a chicken.
Hachi is 8 in Japanese, right? So that's his name.
Yeah.
So he got MAGFest 8 on his arm.
I did just get a pretty cool announcement.
So those are the 2 people that we know with MAGFest tattoos so far.
So apparently the guys from Think Geek are here. And here's what I was just told. You guys ready for this? They brought 3,000 units of merchandise. And they said that none of it goes home. So there is going to be a ton of handouts. Also, they are also going to donate a whole bunch of stuff to the charity auction put out of this home, which is fantastic. Huge round of applause for the 50 guys. There is never a time that I get mail that pisses me off more that I'm poor than when that goddamn calendar shows, or that the catalog shows up. And it's just like, oh, I wrote down a list of things that I want. 40 grand, I don't have that. Who doesn't need a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle burger flipper?
Hey, while we're blatantly plugging stuff, I hope no one minds that I blatantly plug myself. I am not here as a staffer, but I am here as a musician. If you want to search your guidebook thingy, assuming you've gotten guidebook, get guidebook! Alright, sorry. Anyway, if you want to search it for Inverse Phase, there are a couple panels that I'm either running or doing or performing or whatever. And when I'm not there, I would love to tell you some old MAGFest stories involving ambulances and other great things. Not great things, that is, down on my table in the marketplace. I can tell you the stories of yore.
Do you want to hang out at my panel? I put myself on the schedule.
I'm today at 4 at panel 3. Where are you?
At 3 a.m. every night, I'm going to be hanging around either in panels 3, which is just above ops, or in the staff lounge, which is right there. I put it on the schedule because every year at about 3 a.m. when things wind down and nothing is exploding and the drunk people are settling down,
So we just want to have fun and talk on microphones.
That's
Like
what
we're doing now.
I find somewhere to sit for about an hour or two and just kind of hang around on standby in case the security guys need me and wind down and go to sleep. And I end up just sitting and philosophizing with whoever's around. So I put it on the schedule. I'm going to do that every night at 3 a.m.
Yeah!
Anybody
There we
go.
So 3 a.m. tonight at panel 3, come see Paul, and 4 p.m. today at panel 3, come see me. I'll sit here and blather for an hour.
Okay, we don't have too much time left, and I want to run through a few things just to make people aware of the new features that we've got this year at MAGFest. Well, to new people, they're all MAGFest things, but to people who haven't been here, we killed the video room and replaced it with a film festival. We have, is it down to 14 now?
Yeah.
We have 14 films showing on the top floor of the conference room, the National Harbor Room.
There's the Minecraft.
The Minecraft documentary, VFP, which, if anybody's seen the trailer for it, it's a post-apocalyptic DDR fight comedy something movie that's freaking hilarious. A whole bunch of documentaries, like Indie Game the movie, the Minecraft documentary, a couple of them are premiering here. The film fest looks to be really cool.
Beyond the Game.
Yeah, I'm not going to list all of them. And okay, do you want me to just tell them about it? No, I got it. She's one of the people that's in charge of the panels, and so she runs around panicking, trying to make sure that the panels are all running and not too terribly late or off schedule or whatever. And she just wanted me to let everybody know that our policy is after every panel, we clear the room. That's to solve the problem of, like, if somebody wants to wait in line for the Angry Video Game Nerd and there's a panel before it, then they get lined up outside and the people in the room just sit there, and then all the people who are waiting in line are kind of screwed. So we clear the room after every panel, just be aware.
We have like a half an hour.
Yeah, we got like a half hour between panels, so it's not that big a deal.
Use the restroom and then come back to the line.
The other big feature that I'm really happy about this year is the indie game showcase. Up in the front of the console area, if you go down to where the console games are, the first couple rows of tables are all indie game developers that are here to show off their stuff. And you can go check out what they've been working on. They're going to be there, manning their tables to explain things and have people try out their games. And that is really what MAGFest is all about, is people who are doing interesting stuff on their own with games and game-related stuff. So I'm really excited to have that happening. The other thing that I do want to mention, because people have no idea what it is, does anybody here know about the demo scene or know what a demo party is? Okay, alright, some of you. The quick explanation is these are basically video game programmers who don't go all the way to making a video game. They just make demonstrations of the insane graphical stuff that they can do. And it's this whole subculture that's been around since the early 80s, but most people haven't heard of it. And a lot of video game programmers, alright, you guys are familiar with Epic? Yeah. Previously Epic Mega Games, previously a demo group. That's how Epic got their start. They were a demo group. We have a demo party happening here. It's in, I think, one of the Chesapeake rooms. Yeah, it's in one of the Chesapeake rooms in the back, one of the main conference rooms there. It's on the map. And it's just going to be full of programmer guys, trying to come up with cool light shows and things. And it's really interesting stuff if you're into the technical side of graphics and game programming at all. So, check that out. Oh, yeah, we have an autograph space, and that's more just sort of a PSA. All the way in the back corner of the expo hall, there's a whole space dedicated to autographs. So whenever any of our celebrity guests are going to be doing autographs, that's actually on the schedule, and it's set up to be right after their panels. So generally, when John St. John here or Ego Raptor or somebody does a panel, after their panel they're going to have an autograph session that's down in the expo hall so that we don't crowd up other places.
PSA on that, when autographs aren't happening from 4 to 6 table flipping is.
Are we doing it at the same time?
There is some bleed over. I'm pretty sure that John is way okay with signing autographs to people rage flipping tables. I picked him to overlap specifically because I figured he'd be like, oh.
just sort of drift off, and usually we just kind of go, well, it's.
And then you guys sit through it, listen to us ramble for
Let's call it done.
Hey, welcome to MAGFest, nerds.